and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
His son's Matthew or something. There's a Matthew's phone that shows up.
Could be.
Well,
Approval of tonight's agenda. Motion, please.
Motion to approve the agenda.
I will second.
Okay, motion and second. We got any discussion on the agenda? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, approval of the minutes for April 28th, regular meeting. Need a motion.
A motion to approve the minutes of the April 28th meeting.
Need a second?
I will second the motion. I just waiting.
Oh. All right, we got a motion and a second. Any call outs on the minutes? Or is Danny perfect?
Oh,
All right, all in favor of the minutes?
I
All opposed, motion carries. Okay, is there anybody here from the citizens input? That's nothing on the agenda to bring up? Okay, we'll move on. Okay, we'll go to number 5, approval of the consent agenda items. Got tobacco license renewal, pump and pack, approve agreement with Connections Area Agency on Aging. Iowa Department of Transportation agreement for maintenance and repair of primary road in municipalities. Bills, checks numbers 93,478 to 93,561 in the amount of $287,056.99. And ACH transactions in the amount of $25,002.88.
I will move to approve the consent agenda items as noted.
Okay, that's Sherry. Need a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Ryan. Motion and a second. Do we have any discussion, call outs, any questions on the consent agenda? You know, the Connections Area Agency, that's for the senior center
the
for
food-
meals.
For meals, yeah, 3 days a week.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion
Aye.
carries on the consent agenda.
oh,
Mark.
Mark has just joined the.
Yep, sorry, better late than never.
Aye.
I'm technology challenged.
Your pay has been docked though.
Yep, that's fair.
That's okay.
All right, we'll move on to discussion action items. We'll open up public hearing amending current budget for fiscal year ending June 2026. Need a motion for opening the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
I will second.
All right, thank you, ladies. All in favor of open the public hearing?
Aye.
All opposed? That was for opening. I gotta wait, I forgot. So, okay, we're now in a public hearing.
Jason's on the phone. If there's any questions, so.
Has there been any comments from emails or?
Nope, no comments or questions from the public.
Council have any? All right. Mark, you have anything?
No, sir.
All righty. Well, we'll move to motion to close public hearing.
I will move to motion to close the public hearing.
I will second that motion.
Second.
Nope, let Mark have it.
Thanks, Mark. Okay, now we'll move to D, resolution
We gotta
20.
vote.
Oh, but you're right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Need to call the vote for closing the public hearing.
Aye.
Aye. We're all in favor.
Okay.
We're all in favor.
All opposed? All right, motion the closed public hearing is approved. As carried forward. Resolution 2612, amending the current budgets for fiscal year ending June 2026. Need a motion on amending the current budget.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 26-12, amending the current budget.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. We got a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Nobody has anything? Mark, you good?
I'm good, sir.
All right. So, all in favor of resolution 26-12?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Letter E, request for council written consent to allow livestock chickens at 2604 Wildy Street.
So we had a citizens input from the previous meeting from Kellen. And so he gave him some paperwork to be able to take out and fill out for consideration. The chapter 55 does allow for written consent of the council. Provided you want to give it. So what asked of him to do is to check with the neighbors around him, have them sign off on being aware and approval. List out what he intends to do for housing, keeping track, feeding. So that's all in the application that was filled out. There's a sample letter, written consent letter, if you guys want to approve it. That's also in the packet that I can add or subtract or change if you so choose. Also includes approval of the owner of the home that he's renting. So Kellen's here to answer any questions, or if you needed any more info. So just kind of follow up to that citizens input from last time.
What kind of feedback did you have from your neighbors when you reached out to them?
Okay.
Sure.
Good. Most of them are all pretty much happy about it because they're older people, so they like that I'm having an idea and they like that. And 3 of them grew up on farms, so they also really like the idea. And then the other one just asked for eggs.
I was just gonna ask if anyone asked you for eggs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else from the council?
I don't have any questions. No, thank you. I appreciate all the work you put into it.
Absolutely. I was thinking the same, like taking the initiative to do it and following through.
Mark, you good with anything?
No, I echo those comments. I hope it works out for you, Kellen. And I'm glad the neighbors are on board.
Do we have any provision should the neighbors change and complain?
Um,
Or once given?
Well, no, yeah. So this is the letter that I've drafted. You could do whatever you want as a council. But the items that I've got is you may house a total of 6 chickens and no roosters, which is in his application. Proper coop and enclosure, ensure that you're treating them humanely, ensure they're not a nuisance to your immediate neighbors. Nuisances may include excessive smells or noise, attraction of other pests, or failure to contain. Follow all local ordinances and zoning regulations. In the last sentence, any repeated violation of these conditions may result in the city staff recommending the council to rescind this written consent. So if we're gonna let him know if we hear anything, he can correct it, but if it's not
Okay.
being corrected and becomes an issue, whether or not someone moves in and then says, I don't know.
I think it's all contained. I think it's all in one.
And
I think you're
Assistant
good.
Chief Rosendahl can help you with he does them up in Sioux City. So if you need any any professional advice, you can ask him. Oh, okay. Immature advice, if you need any, you can go there.
Is there a privacy fence around your property?
No, but I don't know if I was in there or not, but I'm planning on building one right next to it. I told the neighbor that I was gonna build one.
Yeah, you talked about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty sure I did.
but I don't remember if you put that in.
I talked about it, but I might not have written it
Mhm.
down.
Could add that to the letter if you want me to.
Then there'd be documentation of that, because I know you did talk about it.
Okay.
So what happens next? Do we?
Any more
Okay.
questions?
Well, it'd be
We're,
a motion
yeah,
to,
we'll get to the motion.
Okay.
I thought maybe some more comments. You got anything else, Mark?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, we'll call a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve written consent for Mr. Kavidra to have 6 chickens at his home.
Second.
We got a motion, a second. Any further discussion, comments? Okay, we'll call it. All in favor of to allow the livestock?
I
Aye.
was waiting, I thought you were gonna add to it, so I was.
Oh, did you?
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Dylan.
Motion carries.
Yeah, you didn't do all opposed.
All right. Approval of fiscal year 26-27 transportation agreement with CERTS.
we got Brian Pearson here to,
Yep.
yeah, maybe just kind of briefly explain the differences. We've had some changes through the federal transit, so.
Okay, so 2.5 years ago, CERTS went through our every 3-year compliance review. And it was found that we were drawing down on federal funds or federal urban funds in rural system. And so we put together a 4-phased approach with DOT that we would wind down those changes. So we've done that through Sioux City schools, Sergeant Bluff schools, Medicaid, and now we're working through the contracts, which is kind of the last part of it. And so I met with the mayor, met with the city administrator here, and talked through those changes. And so kind of bottom line, roughly about 600 trips are done here for the city of Sergeant Bluff. And which equates to about $2,500 that the city here is paying through the copay of $3, and then the client is paying $2. And so with these changes, basically what the city would be responsible for are paratransit. So there's a difference between paratransit and CERTS. So paratransit is owned by this Sioux City Transit System. So they have the fixed route buses, the big buses with the digital display of their route and location. And then we have CERTS, which we are a rural transit system. And so you have the urban boundary and you have a rural boundary. So anytime that you're in the urban boundary, urban to urban, that means that it's either the fixed route for the Sioux City Transit System or paratransit Sioux City Transit System. Now we have a CERTS, we have a contract with Sioux City Transit System. We've had it for a number of years. So we are contracted to drive their buses. So our CERTS drivers, their buses, we have a contract how things are laid out. So what we're looking for, I guess, in this contract is for the council to approve for paratransit rides only. And it's $3.60. So currently what you've been paying is $3. So it'd be $3.60 per trip. So that's per one-way trip. It's $3.60 for the return trip. So there are 13 clients or riders, passengers that are affected by, would be affected by this change. So if let's say half of the clients are paratransit approved, and to get paratransit approved, you have to, the client has to take an application from CERTS, or they have to go downtown to transit system and pick up an application. They get it filled out, they go see their doctor, and then the doctor would put their emphasis or correspondence on that. And then they'll send that back to the city of Sioux City or Sioux City Transit System. It usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks to approve, and once they are approved, the city will contact us, CERTS, and then we would put them into our scheduling software system, then they can start taking rides at that point. So like I said, if it was half, let's say 300 trips that the city of Sergeant Bluff would be responsible for, we're talking about roughly about $1,000, close to $1,100 versus $2,500 that you're paying right now. So it'd be a less burden on the city of Sergeant Bluff. If clients need to ride the fixed route, it's $1.80. So that'd be possibly a little bit cheaper on them as well. But it's also a little bit more of a nuisance since you have to go to the bus stops to catch rides. So again, I guess that's the overall gist. It's been a complicated process. I was just got off the phone recently with Pace, kind of explaining explaining it again, which we've talked about several times, but it's definitely a lot of confusion between CERTS when we are contracted to do the paratransit, and paratransit runs in conjunction with the fixed route. That's kind of part of having a fixed route system. It's by law, by code, that you also run paratransit in conjunction with that, because not everybody can actually ride fixed route, especially if they're dialysis or some form of a disability. The fixed route won't work for them, so the paratransit has to run in conjunction with it. And so if there's any rides that would pertain to fixed route, the clients would here in the city of Sergeant Bluff would contact, wouldn't really have to contact the city, just mainly just go to the bus shelters to catch a ride. They may have to call and check on that. They do have an app, Passio app, that the Sioux City Transit System has. So if someone has a mobile phone, they can sign up that way. They also have a mobile cashless system as well. And then if clients are here in the city of Sergeant Bluff and just say they want to go into the dunes, or they'll just pay the general public rate that we have in our brochures. But that would be on the client at that point, versus on a current contract, the city would, the city of Sergeant Bluff would kind of pay the copay, and then they would go into the metro area, which is crossing the boundaries with the Sioux City system. And lastly, I'm a council member that represents the 16 transit system across the state with DOT. So we had a call that's on last week. And so they're putting together some pretty detailed information around the boundaries for urban and also for rural, and what hurdles that a transit system or some type of a governing body, 2080 agreement or some type of a COG may want to form, and understanding what those boundaries are and what DOT will be asking of them. So that will be going in the handbook. So it's very thorough. So we went over that in our meeting last week.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you. This is my board, right there.
Yeah, and then next meeting, we'll have the Sioux City agreement, so that when you talk about the fixed bus, that's the Sioux City one that goes to the airport and the mall, but
The route.
that'll be on the next agenda, but this one would be for Simcoe certs or the certs that are housed at Simcoe.
Doesn't sound like any more comments or questions.
No.
Okay, we'll call for a motion for approval of 26-27 transportation agreement with CERTS.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, discussion of chapter 155 signed ordinance update.
Yeah, this gone through the P and Z and ready for us to tackle on the council. I had a couple questions, just so we're not going through. Oh, I don't have it on here. The off-premises signs are billboards. We have those already in the community. And with this initial ordinance that those are being prohibited. I don't know if that's what the council wants to do. One of the billboards is on the interstate that the or it was a MERD grant, but it was museums using and the city has ownership of, kind of shared. And then having signs that are off premises, I guess maybe you don't feel strongly either way, but I don't know if don't want to bring it as an ordinance, and if that's something like that you don't want to prohibit, then we have to start all over. So I was trying to head that off at the pass a little bit, but this ordinance has been needed to be updated for quite a while. I know James was working on some things early on, and then Aaron's taken it, and then the P and Z's reviewed it as well. So so I guess that's the question. We want to ban or prohibit billboard signs if they're in the properly zoned areas. If you don't have a problem with that, I'll bring it back as is at the next meeting.
This is just a discussion item.
Yeah, just getting feedback.
Right.
My comment is I had no idea there were this many different kinds of signs.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are.
So many.
Yep. And some of them get down to garage sale signs and political signs, but it's also the fixed ones that are. The other item that was in here that was good was, that signs in the right of way unless approved by the council. We had that before, 4 or 5 years ago. So that's been covered. Yeah,
So
there it is.
billboards are allowed in a certain range of the interstate or something? Is that kind of what
Well,
there's certain, or
Currently-
they're not allowed at all?
currently they are
Okay,
in certain zones, mostly, along highways or the interstate or in light manufacturing areas, but this changed ordinance prohibits them. So I just wasn't sure if that's what the council wanted, but
Unfortunately, I haven't given that a lot of thought. I'm not a fan of them at all, but there are some that probably would fall into that category that I think might be necessary. I don't know what that'd be off the top of my head, but
so. Yep, this will be So probably be on the next council agenda for the first reading.
So the sign that the museum advertises on that would go away.
Well, I don't know if it'll go away, but it'd be prohibited. If it were to. I suppose as is would be allowed as a allowable non-conforming.
Sort of be grandfathered in.
What about the ones on South Lewis that are temporary, that got put up a couple of years ago and now that are like
Oh, yeah.
laying half over and you can't read them but they're still there? Then what's that fall under? I said, no, the one there's special concession made for those a couple of years ago.
There was, yep, and I don't think they're needed anymore, so we can
Should probably be
get
removed.
those.
Is
Yeah,
there, you can't really read them anyway.
yeah. The tarps really
Yeah.
just kind of. It's all over the place, probably even after the winds of today and yesterday are not gonna help, huh? Yeah, I don't think they would have to probably be on private property to be allowed just outright, yeah. What you're talking about out there by concrete plant, lawn pros, yeah. Yeah, I think that business is relocating to up by the ball fields off of. So. That would be considered a sign in the right of way, wouldn't be. Allowed unless council allowed it. Okay. All I have, thanks.
All right, we'll move to letter B. Under ordinances, ordinance 772, amending provisions pertaining to electric service rates with and without load management, first reading.
Jason, are you able to speak on that?
Yep. This is just, we went through the budget. We all talked about, needing to raise the electric rates 10%. And so we got to get the ordinance to match that. So this is the first reading of that ordinance to raise our electric rates 10%, for July 1.
To cover our costs.
I'd make that motion.
Mark.
Second.
Kurt's got the second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, ordinance 773?
Aye.
Whoops, my bad.
Then to-
772? I
772.
turned my page too quick.
We did.
Okay, we got a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, ordinance 772, first reading pass. Okay, ordinance 773, amending water rates for service and bulk cells, first reading.
Same thing there. We talked through budget that, we're going to have those new SRF loans on C Street, having a new water main in there. Also looking at Ridge Road expansion, recommended to us by our financial advisor to implement a 4% increase on the water rates over the next few years. So this is the first reading of that as well.
Any discussion on them? Okay, got, make a motion for ordinance 773.
I'll motion 773, ordinance 773.
I will second.
Motion a second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries first reading. Okay, administrators report.
Well, not a lot, just working on bringing back next meeting, some of the things we talked about. Warrior Snow, the Harmon project. Shucks, there's another one. EV scooters for first reading, so been working on that. Sioux City did approve yesterday, I think, the 27% increase on sewer, so that's
that'd be
effective
great.
in November. So we'll have to look at that. Well,
And talking to Aaron, that's 27% for each
Mhm.
city. It's not divided by the four,
That's right.
for each city,
Yep,
unfortunately. Okay, council members, anything? Mark,
No, I have no comments tonight.
anything from the council?
Happy birthday.
No, thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm old. Actually, I have no comments either. It's been quiet. All right, motion to adjourn. Oh, now he's, oh my gosh. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.